Hey guys, I'm Chris Norwood on a journey to hear every song ever recorded, and today's video is going to be ranking the studio albums by famous singer, songwriter, guitar player Bob Seger. I've grown up listening to Bob Seger's music. My parents loved Bob Seger. The car commercials loved Bob Seger, and I've always kind of kept track of what he's been doing. But I've never been a hardcore Bob Seger fan, and I've never had too much of his music. But I've just completed his entire discography. So prior to making this video, I actually did a little update on my listening to every song ever. And I was a little bit confused on his discography. I do run into this occasionally. I am trying to listen to the studio discographies of every musician. Right now I'm doing my top 230 to kind of give myself, some kind of limit, because there's trillions of years of music out there. But Bob Seger's discography tripped me up. Usually it's the UK discographies versus the American discographies, but with Bob Seger, and I use Wikipedia. It's got a very clear and concise discography section. And with Bob Seger, I started listening to these records. I was like, wait, the Bob Seger System. And so essentially this is what it is. I'm going to be ranking all 18 albums. The first three, Ramblin' Gamblin' Man, Noah, and Mongrel, are by the Bob Seger System, while the rest of the albums are technically solo albums. Some of them are with the Silver Bullet Band, some are not, I believe. Don't quote me on that, but I am going to be doing all 18 here today. I listened to all 18, and gosh darn it, I'm going to rank them. So we're going to be doing the system stuff, we're going to be doing the solo stuff, we're doing the solo stuff with and without possibly the Silver Bullet Band. So this is, let's just jump in. There's so many freaking records. And I feel like I've got some hot takes. I feel like I'm going to be ticking off some Bob Seger fans. But hey, it's opinions. There's no right or wrong answer. If your favorite Bob Seger record is Mongrel, however, you would be wrong, because that is going to be my least favorite. Mongrel is just, what do I have in my notes here? One of the worst albums I've listened to. And I've listened to the entire discography of approximately 200 artists. Now, Mongrel, it wasn't horrific to listen to, but it just wasn't, it did not do anything for me. It was the Bob Seger System's third studio album and final, maybe. And I just didn't like Mongrel a whole lot. It just wasn't my flavor of rock and roll. Coming in next is going to be, this one's actually a solo album, with the Silver Bullet Band, The Distance. I believe it's his 12th album. And this one, again, just kind of a rock country sound. Even Now is maybe the highlight of that one for me. But not good, not good. Coming in next, we got to go through these fast, guys. Noah. This one was another Bob Seger System band, and really just nothing on there that I'm digging. Don't worry, guys, we do get into some really great Bob Seger material as we get closer to my favorite of all time. So Mongrel, Distance, and Noah, just not doing it for me. Another one that's not doing it for me, and the reason, oh my goodness, it's a mystery. At 49 minutes and 49 seconds. Yikes, that album cover is just, what the heck. Les Pauls are cool, but not cool enough to make that mystery. do anything. So those 70, 82, 69, and 95. Those were the bad ones. Mongrel, Distance, Noah, and Mystery. Gosh, man, just bleh. Don't ever need to hear them again. However, there is one decent Bob Seger System record, and that's the debut from '69. Actually, I listened to this one thinking it was Bob Seger, and didn't, I was like, what? The Bob Seger System? Ramblin' Gamblin' Man is an okay title track. It's kind of meh, but it's not bad. Unlike the garbage on Mongrel, Distance, Noah, and Mystery, Ramblin' Gamblin' Man is a decent rock and roll record that maybe I'll revisit at some point. We're going to be in the meh territory now. I can't pronounce words today. That happens a lot. Okay, so where are we at now? Ooh, this is a newer one. This is actually the newest one. And I remember in 2017, I Knew You Win. I was very excited when this one came out, and I listened to it in its entirety. It was probably the first Bob Seger record that I'd done that with, and it was okay. It was alright. Let's see what we got here. Busload of Fate, I do not like, is a Lou Reed written track. I'll Remember You and the title track, I Knew You Win, are okay. They're okay. They're all right. On my notes on that one, it says meh, okay. Coming in next is going to be 74 record, and not really any standout tracks on 7, but pretty decent listen, I guess. I think I was supposed to rank this one a little bit lower, to be honest with you. But, I think it's got a nice little flavor, and I'm going to leave it here. I'm going to leave it. It's actually 5, 6, 7. It's actually the 7th worst. So 7, 7. Let's just leave it at 7, 7. 7, 7, 74. We're getting out of the meh category, and we're getting into the unsure. This is an early record, Brand New Morning by Bob Seger. This is his 4th album and first technical solo record. And this one, let's see what we got. Very short album with 8 songs. And 33 minutes and 18 seconds, came out in 71. And it was way better than all the System stuff. Way freaking better. Now we're getting into the better side of my rankings with the really hard to track down Smokin' OPs. I had a really tough time listening to this one. It took a while, but the singles, like If I Were a Carpenter and Who You Love, were okay. They're okay. Now we are definitely, that was the okay. Smokin' OPs, kind of right in the middle of these Bob Seger albums stacked up in this discography. Now for the good ones. The positive ones for me. As a rock and roll fan, Bob Seger's Ride Out with that atrocious album cover is a pretty good one. The singles didn't do much for me, but The Devil's Right Hand, the Steve Earle cover made popular by Johnny Cash. That was a really good take on it, Bob. Yeah! Yo! Like Cars and Chevrolets and car commercials and cars. Like a rock, oh, like a rock. When I think of Bob Seger, I think of this song and cars driving over rocks. Chevrolet cars driving over rocks like a rocks. What else is there? The John Fogerty cover at the end, Fortunate Son, was okay. I didn't really need it, but it was alright. American Storm was okay. But, overall, a pretty good album to listen to. I'm old and now and I'm still running. Against the Wind. Against the Wind. Love that title track. Absolutely one of my favorite songs. The other singles are just kind of, my dad really loves Fire Lake and I don't know, some of the other ones. But for me personally, Horizontal Bump was kind of stupid. Her Strut was okay. You'll Accompany Me was okay. But Against the Wind, I'm still running against the wind. This next one I really wanted to rank higher, and I almost considered it. It was actually almost my top pick, but it just didn't have any songs that really stuck with me. It was just the overall album was just fun to listen to front to back. Bob Seger and the Silver Bullet Band, The Fire Inside. And it came out in 1990. It's a pretty long album at 52 minutes plus. Loved the opening track, Take a Chance. That's got Tom Waits. It's got two Tom Waits covers on here in New Coat of Paint and Blind Love. Whole thing's just fun, fantastic listen. This is where I'm getting really excited about Bob Seger. So let's keep on going. Coming up next is going to be probably a lot of people's favorite Bob Seger album at 33 minutes again. Beautiful Loser. And what do we got on this 75 classic? Title track, Kathmandu, Nutbush City Limits, whatever that's about. Traveling Man. My personal favorite, though, has got to be MoMA. That's how you pronounce that, right? MoMA? Mama? Mama. That's a good one. Coming in next, we got another late era Bob Seger album. Glad he's still around, right, guys? Face the Promise. And now this one, 2006, I was downloading stuff off iTunes every day. And this one had Wait for Me, Face the Promise, and Real Mean Bottle featuring Kid Rock, which was sort of my introduction to the new era of Bob Seger. Kid Rock used to be one of my favorite musicians. I still like Kid Rock, but I've gotten a little bit better taste these days, and listen to a lot of other things. And Real Mean Bottle was pretty cool with Kid Rock. Patty Loveless is featured on here, kind of got some of that country vibe. The iTunes bonus track, Red Eye to Memphis, is okay. So this is just a great album from Bob Seger in 2006. How do the fans feel about that one? I don't know, but I like it. It's actually my fourth favorite Bob Seger album. We're in my top 3 now. You'll be in my top 3. Ooh, this is there not an alternate cover? Anyway, this is my third. Wait a minute. Let's see. Yep, I had to scroll down for a minute. My third favorite Bob Seger record. Ooh, I don't remember that album cover being that freaking ugly. Ooh. Back in 72. Came out in 73. And has 2 epically great tracks. The Midnight Rider, written by Greg Almond. So I Wrote You a Song is okay. Then the title track is okay. But Turn the Page. One of the greatest songs ever. I mean, come on, man. On a long and lonesome highway east of Omaha, early rolling after fires, the long lost song. When you don't feel like Metallica, you just wish that 2020 was through. There I go, turn that page. Are you guys ready for my top 2 Bob Seger records, LPs, full lengths, FLs, whatever you want to call them? Coming in second place. Ooh, it's such a good one. Recorded in Miami and some other places, Muscle Shoals Sound Studios from 76 to 78. It's going to be Stranger in Town. keep hearing a lot of references that I'm remembering retroactively from Uncle Kracker's lyrics. Kid Rock and Uncle Kracker, both huge Bob Seger fans. They've both done a ton of covers. Metallica's done a ton of covers. Bob Seger is just hugely influential on everybody. He's just a big name in rock and roll. And George Jackson, Frankie Miller, Bob Seger. But this one's got Hollywood Nights, Still the Same, an old time rock and roll. And yeah, this album is just freaking, especially side one, is just amazing. Hollywood Nights, Still the Same, old time rock and roll. You got Feel Like a Number and We've Got Tonight were the many singles. All Music gave it a 4.5. The Village Voice gave it a B-. And just a really great instant success. Platinum. And like another album that we're going to be talking about, it was a huge hit. Standard black vinyl. Picture disc format. Picture discs. What are those? Anyway, we are now on to the greatest Bob Seger record of all time. What is your favorite Bob Seger record of all time? I've got to go with, it's a 70s record, released in 76. It says First with the Silver Bullet Band on Capitol Records of October 22nd. They do feature the Muscle Shoals rhythm section, which is a big deal in the catalog of Bob Seger. 36 minutes and 50 seconds, pure rock and roll, Capitol Records, produced by Bob Seger, a bunch of other people, the Muscle Shoals rhythm section, again on production as well. Well received by critics, fans, nationwide, worldwide. 3 singles, 2 of them just blowing up, and sextuple platinum. Whoa, I have never even seen that written, sextuple platinum. We're talking about night moves. Yeah, talking about the night moves. Okay, let's see what the big deal is about night moves. Rock and roll never forgets night moves and the Fire Down Below. That's one of my dad's favorite songs as well. The Fire Down Below. Then you got Sunburst, which is not bad either, kind of a longer track at 5 minutes and 13 seconds. Sunset's Baby is maybe not so great, but Main Street. That's the one I was talking about, Kid Rock and Uncle Kracker. If you love Main Street, check out Uncle Kracker's sort of faithful rendition of that song. It's pretty darn good. Come to Papa was written by Earl Randall and Willie Mitchell. Ship of Fools is 3 minutes and 24 seconds of rock and roll goodness. And Mary Lou, written by Young Jesse and Sam Ling. You got the Silver Bullet Band on 3 of the tracks. Just a really freaking great album. It went to 12 in Canada. The U.S. top of the pops, or top LPs and tape. Billboard, number 8. 3 times platinum in Canada. 6 times platinum in the United States. So selling, over, pushing 7 million copies, nearly. And that was, originally. So I'm sure by now it's just insane, absolutely insane success. Yeah, I mean, just come on, man. Make some night moves, why don't you? I'm always excited. This is one of the first album rankings that I've done immediately after finishing listening. So this one was fresh. These were fresh in my mind. It's taken me, it's taken me a couple months to get through his discography. I'm glad I did it. Definitely, let's see where he's at in my ranking of artists. Now, Bob Seger did move up, so I actually discovered a lot of songs that I didn't realize were him, or that I didn't realize that I enjoyed, or that I just discovered flat out. So Bob Seger currently is sitting at my number 154 spot, in between Everlast and Cake. Kind of got Toad the Wet Sprocket is a little bit above them. You kind of got Outkast, AC/DC, Hank the Third a little bit below him. I like 16 out of 182 tracks, which puts him at 8.79% of rocking. And, that sounds low, but it's actually pretty high. As far as every musician in the universe is concerned, that's pretty high. He's 154 out of everybody that I've ever listened to. So, yeah, I think he was originally around 6%, and that was just because I hadn't heard a lot of the deep cuts and things like that. I'd only heard the big singles like a Rock, Oh, Like a Rock. And so, he has moved up. He's almost in, almost 9%. So, pretty darn good. He's up there with some of the greatest rock groups of all time, in my opinion. Now, he's one, I don't own any physical copies of his music, but I definitely wouldn't mind picking up Night Moves on vinyl or CD or even cassette if I ever came across any cassettes. So guys, please like and subscribe. I am going to be listening to some other artists now that I'm finished with Bob Seger, and let's see who's coming up next, shall we? Give me 1 second here. Bob Seger. Bob Seger. So I've listened to Cake already, Outkast, AC/DC, Hank the Third, Jimmy Eat World, Unwritten Law, Neil Young. Man, those are all fun to listen to. Smashing Pumpkins, Clint Black, Maroon 5, Pink Floyd, Tim McGraw. Have I done Tim McGraw? I think I have done Tim McGraw already. Haven't ranked him yet. I got to do that for you guys. Or haven't ranked his albums. Britney Spears has some new music out. Oh, no. I don't want to listen to it anymore. Train is, they should have stuck with that Trainwreck name. They're, what can I say? They've got a few good songs. Ben Folds 5 was one I recently did their entire discography. Lit, kind of going in a country direction. Incubus, Lil Wayne, Cheap Trick. I've done all these. Sugar Ray, Paradigm, Drowning Pool, The Eagles, ZZ Top, Adema, Bon Jovi. I've recently done Bon Jovi's discography. Nas, American Hi-Fi. Oh man, this one's going to take a while. He currently sits at 183 on my list, but he may be a lot higher or a lot lower because he's got a ton of music. And that's Hank Williams II. I want to add Hank Williams Sr. to my list, but he will be a little bit tricky to rank because he doesn't have studio albums. I'm debating maybe going to a song-by-song basis, which is kind of my percentages anyway. It's just based on studio tracks. Hank Williams Sr., might have to do his a little bit differently because he's mostly got singles. But it looks like I'm going to be listening to a lot of Hank Williams Jr. Here pretty soon. He's got, gosh, 400 and something songs. Oh, man. Better Than Ezra, I've already done them. I need to do a video for them. Theory of a Dead Man is going to be bad. I know it. They're not going to stay at 185. I know it. Springsteen, that's one I'm very excited about. And yeah, we'll get to the rest of the list whenever we get to it. I guess I've got to go listen to 4,000 or 5,000 hours of Hank Williams Jr. now. Guys, like and subscribe, please. Like and subscribe.